Big Ten Cancer Research Consortium, providing more wins, more memories, more hope.
Welcome back to Beaver Stadium and the 2022 Penn State Blue-White Spring Game. Time for us to check in with the third member of today's broadcast crew. Matt McGloin has more on this field offense for Penn State.
Yeah, guys, when you take a look at this offense in the areas where they need to improve, the obvious answer is the run game. And part of that group is the two highly touted freshman recruits, Nick Singleton, Gatorade Player of the Year, and the #2 prospect in Pennsylvania, who they felt like has been better or as advertised. And sharing those reps with him is Nick's and is Katron Allen, an IMG Academy prospect who James Franklin has feel has been better than advertised. And don't forget about the veteran running back. Kevon Lee averaged almost 5 carries a year ago. James Franklin feels like he has been stronger and faster this spring.
James Franklin decided to go this first segment of the spring game special teams heavy. We'll see a couple of two-point plays, some point afters, field goals, situational. Now there is no scoring to this particular segment as Sean Clifford gets things started under center for the Nittany Lions. The handoff right to the 5-star Nick Singleton. Officially a two-point conversion, but again, no scoring here in this first segment, and Singleton comes in with a ton of height, Matt.
Well, it's easy to see why. Singleton is one of those guys who's got great speed. He's got a mature body on him. He can make you miss, and he can beat you with power. Those are combinations that they're hard to find, which is why he's so highly recruited. He'll show you what he's got. I mean, I watched a bunch of his film so far this spring. He's legit.
Yeah, top-ranked running back in the 2022 class, National High School Player of the Year. I mean, he has absolutely all the credentials. Clifford now replaced by Christian Bay, a guy who this coaching staff really believes has taken a big step from last year to this spring.
The thing I like about Baylor, he just lets it rip. He's not afraid to make a mistake. And everybody's going to make some of that. But watch it. Just make that indecision. Let the ball's done.
Straight over the middle, Jake Gotten in the back of the end zone. That's a nice throw. Ton of zip right where you need to put it.
Yeah, exactly. He was standing in the pocket, and he had some pressure on him, and his eyes were fixed where he had to go. See, he just let it rip. Not a big deal. Boom. I know where I'm going with that ball. That's the part I like about him. I think he's improving. Watch this when he first saw debut last season, in-season.
Let's go down to Matt.
And I know it's only been one play, but you're absolutely right, man. You know, his feet were calm in the pocket. He brought some depth a little bit. You notice a little bit of interior pressure there, but that's the throw that you're looking for. Top shelf, back in the end zone, where only his receiver can get it. I mean, they've been talking about how well he's done throughout the winter and out the spring. And, you know, I know it's only been one play, but what a difference for Christian Bay.
So we're done with the two-point conversions. We'll go to the field goals, and this is an area that James Franklin told us when we spoke earlier this week. There was a little bit of concern. Jake Pinniger returns as a guy who, from this distance, was one of the go-to guys for Penn State, but from the longer distance, they often went with Jordan Stout, the punter, who's now gone.
Yeah, Stout will be able to be called in a couple of weeks. I guess that's next week. Pinniger's, look, this kid's he's very capable, and he's capable from the deeper ranges as well. It's his job now, so see what he can do. He's been money.
As we're looking at 20, 32-yarders here, these are the kind of situational field goals, obviously, that you feel like as a coach you have to have. And Pinniger, that has to be a good sign for James Franklin moving forward, a guy who has to have a lot of confidence in throughout the course of the year.
There's a lot more to when you're kicking a field goal or an extra point than just the guy kicking the ball. There's a lot of timing up front. You get the snap, you got the hold, you got the guys on the inside. So it takes a lot of practice, and that's what we're seeing right here.
And now we'll get our first look at Sanders Sahadak, a redshirt freshman kicker, probably second right now on the depth chart at the place kicker position. Now again, we're just doing field goals right now, some specials in the first segment. We've got 8 segments coming up throughout the course of this blue-white spring game. It will be scored. We'll see some 11 on 11. We'll see some 7 on 7 skeleton drills. Get more into that traditional offense to defense look. But Matt, as you well know, every coach will tell you at the end of the day, it's not 2 phases, it's 3 phases. And
next level, heck, there are guys like Marcel's did for years, and Coach Belichick does now. They put their best players on special teams. So you'll just see you'll see a Lawrence Taylor running down the kickoff, players of that nature.
A couple from Pinnaker, a couple from Sahadak. Offense will now rely on traditional scoring. You get 3 for the field goal, the touchdown is 6, add the point after. A little bit different for defense. A touchdown is worth 7. You get 3 points for a turnover, 2 for a 3-and-out, a sack, or a safety, 1 if you force the offense into a punt at any point. And this segment will start with the offense at the -35. Sean Clifford coming back out under center. It looks like Kevon Lee, the veteran, joining him offset to the right in the backfield.
Kevon Lee looked faster to me on film this spring.
Came in about 235, cut 235, getting the handoff up the middle. That's what he can do. He can drive you and then offer a little bit of burst at the same time.
Yeah, so we call that running behind your pads right there. So he's excellent at that.
That gain about 5. You get 5 every time on first down. Mike Yursich going to be a very relaxed offensive coordinator. That sets up a 2nd and 5. Clifford changing it at the line of scrimmage.
That's the experience he's doing that.
In the shotgun, saw the pass look. Instead, he hands it off, and once again, up the middle, it's Lee driving for some extra yards and picks up the first down for the White offense.
So let me make something perfect with them. So Kevon Lee has always had great skills and great talent. And so then you say, well, why haven't they been running the football as well, especially the last 3 or 4 years? Well, really, this offensive line is where the whole thing takes place. And they're not a finished product right now. They've got some guys coming in. They've got guys backed up. But the offensive line is where Penn State has to take the biggest step, both in the run game and also in protection.
A couple of young guys coming into both to that offensive line, as well as a transfer, Hunter Norzad from Cornell. Run game and lead bottled up a little bit there. And Matt, you mentioned the struggles a year ago. One of the worst rushing defenses in FBS football, less than 110 per game. Most importantly, just about 3 per carry. Both Yursich, both James Franklin. They said in the offseason, we have to be and we will be more committed to the run.
Yeah, so but they really have to get better in that offensive line. And like I said, this is not a finished product yet, and it's still a work in progress. I have confidence in the fact that they'll get there.
Empty backfield for Sean Clifford here on 2nd and 10. 5 wide receivers in this set. Clifford to his right, looks over the middle. DeAndre Lambert-Smith. Nice throw, timing throw from Clifford.
Yeah, smart. So what Clifford's doing is they're spreading the field, and so they're going to get 3 to one side and 2 to the other. So you go to the side of the field that has less defenders, and you work the inside. Make sure that receiver gets the defender on his hip, and then an accurate throw is a first down. It's like stealing.
Lambert-Smith doing a nice job getting his foot in the ground. Nice cut to keep the defender off. Back to the run game. Up the middle. This time Lee with just a couple of yards. Nice stop on the inside there. And this defensive line also a little bit of a work in progress right now, Matt.
Yeah, they're figuring it out. The guy's not figuring it out. I like a lot on the outside. It's Keelan King in the corner. You saw him come in the corner. It looks right there. They didn't account for him. He made the play in the backfield. He and his brother are very good. I really like the linebacker, Kobe King, number 41. You'll watch him. He's got really good instincts on the inside.
There's a good chance he can get a look at the Mike position, which is a little bit wide open right now. Redshirt freshman didn't see the time that Caden saw last year at corner, but certainly a guy that will get much more of a look in the fall of 2022. In motion is Lee to Clifford's right. Clifford looks that way, nothing there. Going to tuck it down and run. Pick up 6, 7, 8, and of course, no one is allowed to chase the quarterback in these kind of situations. That is, if you want to see the field of fall time when it really counts.
Yeah, that wouldn't go over real big. He took a nice shot on the guy right there. Now, what you're seeing right there is the experience right there.
And that's why, in case folks are wondering why Clifford is the only offensive player in blue, that's the sign for the defense. Just if you get a little bit excited, to remind you that's not a guy that you bring to the ground.
He's one of ours.
3rd and 1 now for the offense, and the handoff to Lee straight up the middle. Big gain. Now about the 21-yard line, and that is exactly the situation Mike Yursich talked about. We have to run it, even when the defense knows we have to run it.
So that's on Kevon Lee just did an excellent job accelerating through the holes. Once it's there, then you hit that extra gear, lower those pads,
came for a couple of yards there to set up the first down just outside the red zone for Clifford and his number one team out.
Hello, everyone. Great to see you here at the Voice of College Football for about 45 minutes of Penn State football viewing before we move on to USC on the USC channel and right here on the main channel. As it states down below, please hit the like button before you get settled in, and I appreciate everybody being here. I will get to your comments and questions. My apologies for being late. I had to run down to Lowe's at the last minute and take care of something. So that's out of the way for at least one day. And we got some Penn State football in front of us. So my two questions at this point, not having seen the first, they don't have a time. They just have first quarter. So no time on the clock. But my first question, with Sean Clifford going back to pass, looking for a receiver and throwing it downfield for an almost touchdown, maybe a touchdown there on a 2nd and 2 play. There is a flag down. Okay. My first question would be, we are about 5 or 10 minutes into the game right now. Has James Franklin already made a game management blunder? Question number one. I believe he's probably due for a game management blunder at this point. So has he made one yet? Question number one. Sorry, Penn State fans. Just had to ask. And number two, is Penn State already negative rushing yardage? Question number three, should we open up the phone line? So we're going to be here for, again, for you Penn State fans, my apologies. We are just going to be locked in here on Penn State until 3 Eastern. We got to take priorities with USC for obvious reasons. Not obvious football reasons, but obvious business reasons. The USC channel is, at this point, Penn State fans, we hope that you build up the Penn State brand here at the Voice of College Football higher and more weightier. But with the conflict of spring games, unfortunately, USC takes precedence at 3 p.m. Eastern time and noon Pacific. So it's good to see Sean Clifford's in one piece still. That's also important for as many detractors as this guy has. And I would say outside of Bo Nix, Stetson Bennett, possibly Cade McNamara, he is one of the more maligned players in all of college football. Sean Clifford, he seems to get blamed for everything Penn State cannot do. And most of it's not his fault. I thought Sean Clifford was remarkable last year, withstanding injuries and with no rushing attack and marginal pass protection. Not the best pass in the world, but coverage was there. All right, great to see everybody. We will open up the phone lines if you would like. Again, we've got about 40 minutes with all of you. Appreciate you being here. We've got a big day here at the Voice of College Football. Big day here at the Voice of College Football. And Penn State fans, I'm wearing the Penn State blue. Had a decision to make, went with the Penn State blue. A lot of black shirts in my drawer and in the closet. A lot of black shirts, a lot of gray shirts. Went with the Penn State blue. Kevon Lee. Kevon Lee fighting. And we will get to see the Mikey Ursich offense, although, of course, he's not going to show much. 4th and 1. This team intrigues me. This, to me, is the most intriguing team in the Big Ten. Yes, they are. They are the most intriguing team for me in the Big Ten. They have to go at least 7-5 for sure. Just walking out onto the field, go 7-5. It looks as though they get the first down, but it's very close. But they should have gotten it. 7-5 for sure. They can just roll the helmets out there and go 7-5. But are they going to contend for a Big Ten championship? And they got ripped to shreds on defense in regards to the NFL draft. And we will have a big NFL draft weekend here at the Voice of College Football next weekend. So stay tuned for announcements on what we're doing with our live coverage of the NFL draft. Anthony, good to see you. Mark Rogers rocks. We are doing construction today. Well, exploring with Ben. Touchdown. Mitchell Tinsley with the touchdown. Mitchell Tinsley is going to be counted on to be an integral part of the offense this year. Nice little swing pass out there. We'll see if the wide receiver blocked. I believe he did. That's always key. Both wide receivers got good blocks. I don't know what the one defensive back was doing, why he went to the outside. I don't know. Well, I guess he was going for leverage, a leverage play there, but wow, he gave up the lane. All right, touchdown by the offense. And the offense, I would think, is going to score most of the touchdowns today. So they must have one of these point systems, offense versus defense. Doing construction today, about the level of construction that I'm capable of, maybe. Actually preparing for a project on Sunday. Powcar, good to see you. Appreciate you always chiming in, confirming with everyone. Voice of College Football is here. Appreciate all of you. Exploring with Ben. Not enough likes. Hit that like, everyone. Mark will be back soon as yeah. Lawn equipment. No. Don't need to deal with that right now. Jason, Buckeyes fan. Remember, everyone, we're taking count. We're taking a fan count, trying to get an accurate fan count here at the Voice of College Football. So hit me up at MarkRogersTV at Gmail. Let me know who your team is. Who is your team? 34,000 subscribers. I would love to know what that fan base distribution looks like. 34,000 subscribers here at the main channel. I'm not going to take a poll or a fan count on the Florida channel because I'm going to assume that just about everybody's a Florida fan. Or on the Ohio State channel, 90-some% probably Ohio State fans. So this is for the main channel for business reasons and my own curiosity. Who do you root for? Who is your team? Hit me up at MarkRogersTV at Gmail. For those of you watching on the main channel, and that's where we are right now. So please do that. Exploring with Ben is responsible for the Georgia helmet. Wow. I didn't realize that, and I apologize. Exploring with Ben, I cannot keep track of who sends me what helmets. Yeah, the dog helmet prominently behind me. You are the champs. You are the national champions. And I think you got a good shot at repeating. Joey Foster, good to see you. And of course, Joey and everyone else knows we will be with you at 6 p.m. Eastern time with West Virginia football talk. Jason, thank you so much for the like, the thumbs up. Appreciate you just doing that even when you've got other things to do. That you're here. That's very nice. Yeah, that was the TV. I got nobody else here with me right now. Yes, nobody has sent me a West Virginia helmet. Oh, man, Joey, come on. That's the most beautiful helmet in all of football. Front and center permanently? Do we want it front and center? Do we want it right here now? Exploring with Ben, for everything you're doing, I will listen to your wish is my command. Uncle Rico checking in. He apparently has the Peacock network, which I believe they're not showing it on the free service, are they? I believe it's on the paid. double check because I would like to. What I would like to do is watch every spring game. Can't watch them all live, but watch every spring game and do a report. Do a recap on every spring game. But a couple hours after the spring games, it seems like nobody cares anymore. So why do a report or a recap a day later? Nobody's going to watch it. Notre Dame spring game TV. Let's see if we can get it. I doubt it.
His first two steps are pretty darn good. He's not a really big kid in terms of size. 6'1", like 270-ish, but I like it.
So here, a couple of points to the defense and Durant there with the stops. Now you got the scoring down back. They get 2 for the 3 now. So the offense leads the defense 7-2 as we go back to specials. And I think this is the biggest area.
Okay, I'm going to try. Watch for free. I don't want to sign up for Peacock unless I know the Notre Dame game's on here. And even if it is, I'm not going to be able to watch it live. So is there a point? Yes, Kirby, the Pac-12. The Pac-12 is exploding. Don't look now, but the Pac-12 is where it's at. Thank you, Kirby. I love it too. It looks better in green and yellow, though. Tends to look better that way, the original. What was Georgia thinking when they did that? When did Georgia go to the Power G versus the Green Bay Packers? When did that happen? Roger, Sean Clifford has not mismanaged yet, but give him time. He will make up for it. I wasn't talking about Sean Clifford. I was talking about James Franklin. James Franklin. I like Sean Clifford. Sean Clifford, that guy has given it up for this program. Look at the old game tape on Matt Millen. Oh, this is beautiful. The neck roll, number 60. Here we got Matt McGloin. What is he on the sideline? He must be. Matt McGloin, 08 to 11. Those are the best highlights they can come up with for Matt McGloin. Oh, Matt McGloin's reporting. That's what I guessed. Matt McGloin was mostly with the Raiders in the NFL, right? Yep. All 4 seasons with the Raiders. 1-6 quarterback record, which that's always a stupid stat. 1-6. 11 touchdowns, 11 picks, 58%. Matt McGloin. Oh, yeah. Ducks on the menu in Georgia. I tend to think that as well. Irish looking great on D. Yes, Tyler Buckner not playing. He injured an ankle, not on the field. Little inside pitch. Stopped at the line. Really need to break down this personnel. Really need to get into it here when I get a chance. I keep saying that about everything. I really need to dive into some Penn State, and Below's in the game. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He started against Rutgers and played really well. It was Rutgers, but he played really well. Threw like 3 touchdowns, no picks against Rutgers when Clifford needed to get healthy last year. James Franklin's 11-11 his last 2 seasons. Needs to live up to the money. Not a good looking pass there. Oh, come on, Joey. Good try. Good try. I like how you skew it to the Mountaineers all the time. Uncle Rico, I got to say that those helmet pads, if they help the player, I'm all for them, but they do look silly, and I hate to see them just because I want to see guys in helmets. It's a football game. I throw up the Oregon green all the time, Joey. The banners always exactly match the team. I'm very anal about that. I get the exact color code. Frank, appreciate you being here. I slept pretty well last night. I went to bed about 4, got up about 9:30, got my 5.5 hours in. There we go. We're good to go. Exploring with Ben, wearing my Oregon gear today. Yes, the Oregon spring game is today. I wish we could see it. Oh, that was beautiful. That was a tremendous pass and catch in double coverage to number 17. Let's get our Penn State roster up here. I feel way behind on Penn State personnel. They lost so much. I hate when I don't know everyone. I just feel like I need to know everyone. That was either Mason Stahl. That's who I believe it was, Mason Stahl, or Amari Evans. It had to be Mason Stahl, correct? Mason Stahl. Who's a redshirt sophomore out of Pittsburgh. Oh, Joey, thank you so much for the support. Letting everybody know, of course, to contribute, you can go to Mark Rogers TV on Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Just go to any one of those, Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, search Mark Rogers TV. Cheryl was at Lowe's in Harbor Freight this week. I'm guessing that's in Arizona. Should I move to Arizona, Cheryl? Would that be a good move? Christopher has no team. Therefore, we will not be hearing from Christopher on our Gmail. Everybody else, please let me know who you root for. Go to Gmail. Go to Mark Rogers TV at Gmail. And let me know who you root for. Who's your team? We want to get an accurate count. 34,000 subscribers. Would love to know. I would love to get 34,000 responses. I got about 180. So we're almost there. All right, 7-on-7. Oh, that was almost picked. Again there, who is your team? Contact me at MarkRogersTV at Gmail. 34,000 subscribers. Would love to know who you root for. Michigan and Ohio State way out in the lead right now, but it's very early. Also, we've got Discord. Got Discord, and do you guys want schedule previews? Guys want schedule previews? You go to Patreon, sign up, join the Discord. I'm going to be, a little hook and ladder. No. Whoa. That was a deflected interception that was so smooth it looked like it was an actual hook and ladder. Did you see the receiver? It looked like he intentionally pitched the ball, but he just dropped it. I thought that was a hook and ladder for a second. So that was less than impressive. He was behind a couple different guys, and that was not a well-thrown ball. In 7-on-7, no pass rush. And Drew Aller, come on. This is the anointed one here, Drew Aller. And not looking good in 7-on-7, but he's just a kid. Yeah, Discord. Join us on Discord. We've got 50 or 55 people on Discord. And we've got a chat room going 24/7, 365. You can talk all the time. Mason Stahl again. Couldn't stay in bounds. There's DeAndre. Clemson. I don't know what you're telling me there. Clemson. Oh, Tim is walking into the Coliseum right now. Are you alone? How many people are with you? How many folks in the stands? They are charging nothing from what I understand. It's free to get into the USC spring game. Daniel, why did you have to move the Buckeyes helmet, though? Well, I didn't have to move it. I did. We move these all around. Can always be moving helmets. How about that? How about that? Okay. Uncle Rico, James Franklin is a smart guy. Get rid of the clock completely, and you can't make any time management mistakes. That's the first thing I said when I sat down. I've missed about 5 minutes of the game and thought, hey, he's probably already made a game management blunder. So we apparently had a nasty comment made by one Joe Lango. Joe Longo? Never seen that name before. Needs to be ousted. Thank you for that, Joey. Time him out. Give him one more chance. If he does it again, I'll get in there and block him. Reasonable Gump. Do I have this right? Notre Dame not only has their home games on a network that no one associates with college football, now they're showing their spring game on a streaming channel that no one subscribes to. Pretty much. Did you guys hear the news about CNN Plus? Did you hear the debacle that CNN Plus was, I guess is, now was? You talk about a horrible business decision and execution. CNN put like $500 or $600 million into the launch of an app, of a streaming service, of a subscription service. $500 or $600 million into it, and based on what I read, basically that was to launch it, but they put billions into it, and they had less than 10,000 people using it each day. Less than 10,000 people. Got more people than that watching MarkRogersTV videos. Sorry, Voice of College Football. That's old branding. Voice of College Football videos every day. Got more than 10,000 people here. I know that it's free, but still, just to make a point, little old me versus CNN Plus. What a disaster. That's incredibly pathetic. No personal attacks. Come on. You can have fun. You can poke fun. You can trash talk. No age, gender, name calling. Sean Clifford's 6th year. That sounds right. 5th for sure. Let's see. Yes, his true freshman season was 2017, so that would be a 6th season. He redshirted as a true freshman in 17. And then played a little bit in 2018. And then by 2019, he was the guy. Oh, exploring with Ben. You've given me a great idea right there. Oh, man, this would be beautiful. College game day. College game day. Voice of college football signs at college game day. That would be phenomenal. Web security, good to see you. Yes, Voice of college football signs at college game day. That would be phenomenal. Christopher is letting us know that the Green Bay Packers instituted their logo in 1961. Oh, the team was around before that. I wonder what the Packers looked like in 1960 then. So in 1960, okay, they had a football that looked rather thin and skinny with a guy doing the Heisman pose, the stiff arm. Wonder if that's where that came from, too. No, the Heisman Trophy's been around for 1935, right? Jay Burwanger. But I think I've got a shot of the Packers pre-1961 logo. Thanks for checking on that, Christopher. So apparently the Packers came out with their G in 1961 and then Georgia in 1964. Ski Money here. Good to see you. It's all about the U. Thanks for supporting. Appreciate you being here. Don't know what's going on with the West Virginia game. I'm not giving ESPN any money to watch spring football. They pretty much put all the spring football, ESPN, this year, except for the ACC. You know what's going on here. So the SEC network started in 2014. It was enormously successful. It was in almost every cable household right out of the gate before it even launched. And up until this season, so 2014, really 2015 through last season, so for 6 or 7 straight years to start the network, ESPN broadcasted all the SEC spring games on the SEC network. Now they've pulled it back and you got to pay for it. Now we see that the ACC games are free on the ACC network because, number one, they need to build the ACC network. It's not been as nearly as successful as the SEC network. They only got it in something like 35 to 40 million homes out of the gate and not the 90 million for the SEC. But if they get the ACC network to a point where they believe, okay, we're going to get enough people to pay to watch the spring games, they'll do the same thing there. And they've apparently, of course, put all these other games, put West Virginia on ESPNU. Can't do that. I know that they're flooding ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU right now with softball and baseball games, but still. Yes, Andrew, that is the plan. We will be switching over to USC at 3 Eastern, noon your time. Yes, we're doing a USC watch party. I apologize for the Penn State fans that inconveniences. Not that we're really watching it, or I am. I can't speak for you. But we got to go with USC at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. And so you got to switch feeds because we've got a different link for that because we're going to simulcast on the USC channel. Don't move to Arizona. Okay. Web security says don't move to Arizona. Well, I got to say it's not under serious consideration right now, but I had thought, well, initially, if I was going to go west and based on a previous relationship that I would have gone to California because I loved visiting California, but that we're talking 10 years ago. Now I wouldn't touch California, but from a weather standpoint, you can't beat California from a weather standpoint and from an entertainment standpoint or things to do and all that. But it's impossible to live there for other reasons. So that's out of the question. It's too expensive. Web security. It hit me this morning. I would like to put together a Clemson live stream now that spring practice is in the books. To put together a live stream of all our Clemson contributors. Maybe we can get Bobby Durkins on here, Pigskin Pete, whomever else wants to come on, and we can do a big Clemson spring wrap-up. Mark ignored my super chat like that guy that's always complaining. Huh? I got your super chat. About James Franklin. Talked about it. Uncle Rico, come on. Georgia played last week. Oh, where is USC? USC's right here. Where do you want USC? That. There we go. Parking is $50. Okay, we've got a free spring game, but it's going to cost you $50 to park. Sean Clifford with a touchdown pass. Keandre Lambert-Smith, one of their top wide receivers, sophomore, catches the touchdown. Looked like number 41 could have undercut that. Kobe King, redshirt freshman from Cass Tech in Detroit. The champs stay front and center. Oh, do they? Well, come on. They played last week. I need to throw everybody off for a while, and I'm going to take all the worst teams, the helmets of the worst teams that I have, and I'm going to put them all in the front. So it's going to be Nevada, Washington State, Kent State, Nebraska, Stanford, everybody with a losing record, Florida State, North Carolina, Washington. They're going to all be in front. Texas. Yeah, but Texas is a big brand. I don't want to put them up there. Kirby's visor. You're some people think that this is the primary spot, that this is the spot, the one that sits right up here front and center. Well, it's not front and center, but it's closer to the screen and it's separated. I've had people mention to me that when whatever helmet that they want, bam, that placing it there is the place to be. Cheryl, I know that the comment that Joe made was towards you. I got that. I was noting that Joey kicked him out. It sounded like Joey kicked him out. 15,000. We are 10 minutes away from USC. We'll switch over. Troy tried watching the Utah spring game, just not doing it for me, though. Well, again, would like to. There's another little touchdown to Singleton. Oh, Uncle Rico's back at it. Appreciate you being here, man. What's your guess on USC attendance? Me? Well, Tim just told me 15,000. And they're letting people in for free. They should have 40,000 people there for free. When do those people get anything for free? When do any of us get anything for free? David is telling us that Sean Clifford is still a below average quarterback. Really? You would not take... There was a drop by number 88. Jerry Cross, we've heard about him. Every time I look up a player for Penn State, I think, okay, I either remember him from last year or from my conversations with our Black Shoe Diary guys. So that was Jerry Cross, the freshman tight end. He was a highly touted tight end. Sean Clifford is still a below average quarterback? Compared to who? Yeah, Netflix is tanking as well. Frank, I checked out my first USFL game last night while we were doing our live stream because people were talking USFL. And yeah, there was nobody there. Like nobody there. Colby's here. Uncle Rico, you subject yourself to that by following Colin Cowherd. So I don't know what Colin Cowherd has to say, even though I think his show is great. I haven't heard or listened to it, watched it for a long time. When is the last time I watched Cowherd? I get into patterns where I used to watch him almost every day because it just worked with my work schedule where he would be on at 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon here, and I worked later, and I'd have him on while I was doing other stuff and had him on all the time. And then the trend got broken, and I have not even thought of the guy for at least 6 months. He has not crossed my mind. So that just hit me as soon as you said that, oh, I used to watch him all the time. We're talking about like 2 years ago. I used to watch him almost every day. And now I haven't seen him for at least 6 months. Joey, yeah, thanks for the suggestion on Morgantown. They weren't under my consideration for where to move. D Brown, good to see you. D Brown 2020. Bilal's here. I haven't seen you in a long time, Bilal. Good to see you today. Ready for fall camp? I guess you are. You showed up. Good to see you. What are we going to hit next? So again, if you want schedule previews, those are I'm going to produce schedule previews for all the team channels. But the other schedule previews, please hit me up at Patreon. Sign up on Patreon. Get your Discord. You can request as many schedule previews as you want. I will deliver schedule previews. And, of course, you get my predictions. You would have made money last year. Desmond's here. So, Des and I, Dre's going to be off for a little time, but we are here with you every Wednesday. That's 5:30 Eastern time, 5:30 Eastern time, every Wednesday on the Michigan channel. Michigan Live, be there. Talking Michigan football, of course. There we go. Michigan Live every Wednesday at 5:30 Eastern. Oh, it's just about that time to get on over to the USC game. So there's our schedule for today. We're watching Penn State right now, even though we're not watching. The USC watch party's coming up at 3 Eastern in a couple minutes. We're going to switch over. So if you're watching right here on the main channel. Just stay right here. I'm going to send out another link. It'll pop up on the front of the channel for our USC watch party from 3 to 5. Then we've got West Virginia postgame. West Virginia, I believe, is playing right now. We've got West Virginia postgame coming up right here, 6 p.m. Eastern time with Gold and Blue Dude. And I believe Travis Kenobi and Justin Walker will be with us as well. And then tonight at 8:30, approx, because it depends on when Jason Ray makes it back from the spring game, we will have Oklahoma spring game post right here at 8:30 Eastern. Okay? So next up, the USC watch party right here. Keep it here. Stay right here. All 60 of you and growing. Stay right here. Let me check out the rest of the comments real quick before we lose them. College Football Journey reminds us that for right now, got to keep this statement in context, and that it, as of right this second, is still true. It's hanging on. Michigan football winning record against every single university in the Big Ten. Absolutely. And none of that has to do with anything pre-World War II. Todd is not digging the Penn State game. So We're going to move on to USC because Todd wants USC. All right, everyone. Keep it right here. I will be back in 2 minutes. USC right here on the main channel and on the USC channel, but you might as well just keep it right here. See you in less than 2 minutes.